But when the bodies mix, I don't give a shit tonight. Alright. Now she walks in the bedroom fast, despite all the noise from the crowd. Now she's bedless on the bathroom sink. Her mother would be so proud. Gets on the deed and there's a line to go pee, but the bathroom looks like a war zone.
Welcome into episode 209 of Phired Sports. Check us out at firesports.com. I'm Mike Sletto. Joining me as always, Mark Ramos. What's going on, man?
Not much, dude. Same old over here.
I hear that. Okay, we're inching closer to hockey season, which I'm excited for. Postseason baseball's coming. That's close as well. Phillies winning a game right now to the Marlins. Are they still winning 3-0?
Last I checked, they were.
Last I checked, I agree that it was 3-0. Last I checked, I should have been more prepared. But the Mets are losing, which is nice. It's always a good thing. It's gonna be really funny if they miss the playoffs. It just will be.
Yeah, it's a crowded area there. Like for that one, wild spot. It's all kind of congested. It could be anybody.
Yeah, the Reds are right in there. They're losing though right now. You got the Diamondbacks in there. I think the Giants are still kind of hanging around.
Yeah.
But speaking of like blowing giant leads, the have you paid attention to like the Tigers race at all?
No.
So they were at one point in like July, I think they were literally like 15 or 16 games up in the division. They are now, I think, one game up to the Guardians.
Oh my God.
And they start a 3-game series tonight.
Oh wow.
So
Wow.
yeah.
Sometimes, right? Like you always hear, sometimes the best move that you make is the one that you don't make.
Yeah.
Maybe the Guardians were smart to hold on to Stephen Kwan there.
Yeah.
At the deadline.
True.
I don't know that they would be in that position if they didn't have him,
Yep. And then in that same game, so that started tonight, that series. David Fry I don't know if you saw the video, got hit in the face with a 99 mile an hour fastball trying to bunt.
Oh.
Yeah, brutal.
I did not see that.
Brutal scene. And I think they gave him a strike. I think it like technically hit off his bat and then hit him in the face. I don't know. Brutal.
Injury, insult added to injury.
Yes, exactly. All right, we could get kind of right to the Eagles game. I feel like one of the more craziest games I think you could witness, in terms of, I guess there's different angles you go here because like obviously it's two different halves, right? Like the first half, they basically got booed off the field. Like, the offense wasn't moving. It felt like, we talked about it last week. It felt like Brian Johnson. There was no creativity. Jalen Hurts had, I think, 17 passing yards in the first half. Like there was just nothing going on. They were down. What was the score? 26-7, I believe.
Yeah.
And it was not looking pretty. And then the offense, turned it on, realized they have AJ Brown, and the Eagles just took over.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, that second half was an absolute clinic of, what we know really like the foundation of this team really is, which is obviously a championship winning and contending team. But it was bizarre how much I wonder too. I've seen this out there a little bit. I wonder if there was like, I don't know, do you think like Patullo was calling the plays in the first half and then Sirianni took it over in the second? Something changed with how guys were utilized and things like that. I mean, obviously AJ Brown was automatically involved, and he's been so like not so to this point of the year. So I wonder about that.
That was my theory, and it still might be my theory. Although Sirianni came out and said that Patullo did call the second half. Now,
Okay.
whether I believe him or not is a different question.
Yeah.
Because it did seem like two totally different offenses. So whether he called the plays in the second half and Hurts just kind of did his own thing, or if if Sirianni called the play, like I don't know if we will truly know, because like Nick Sirianni's kind of likes to be the glue guy, so to speak, and is never going to throw a guy under the bus, and
Right.
so I don't expect him to have a different answer. But I don't know that I buy it. I don't know that I buy it.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Because like the contrary belief, right, would be him being like, hey, hand this over.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? And he's just not going to. Coaches don't do that anyway for the most part, but Sirianni definitely doesn't seem like the type to do that. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was a wild day across the NFL in general. I mean, the fact that there's so many blocked field goals, two of them happened in the Eagles game, which was insane. Um, and yeah, I mean, like the offense, through 3 weeks, I mean, as dormant as the offense has looked at times, I really like Jalen's been pretty good. I mean, like through the first 3 games, I think in general, um, the first half, right? Like they get, like you said, they got booed off the field more or less, and losing Lane there for the rest of the day, I think, really kind of changed things. All of a sudden, I mean, that pass protection just kind of crumbled. Like
Mhm.
some really heavy hits in the first half, and then the one he fumbled on that gave the Rams a short field late in the second quarter, I believe. That they were able to punch in to get that.
Pryor had a tough, tough, tough day.
Yeah, yeah, he really did. And you don't want to think. I think even for a team that's coming off a championship and things like that, you don't want to think that a team couldn't overcome losing a player because they're a championship caliber team, obviously. But Lane's an awfully big piece to that
Mhm.
offensive line, and I think that would have been a step down regardless of who it was. But I mean, Pryor was bad for you know based on any standard. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And even like I think there was a play. I don't remember if it was in the first or second quarter, but I think it was Saquon missed the block too. Like it was very.
yeah,
It was.
and
They
and
just weren't
Hurts,
in sync.
yeah, and Hurts took like a few really big hits because of it.
Yeah, and he was more animated in the game than he typically is. There was a couple times he got up and he looked to the sideline, kind of throwing his arms up in the air,
Yeah,
and you don't see him ever do that. You know what I
no, no, no,
mean?
no. At one point, he was giving it to Patullo. I think
Yeah,
he was talking to Jalen Carter after Carter got a bad penalty.
yeah,
He's kind of uh grown into or embraced. I guess is probably the right word. He's embraced the leader role. I think.
yeah, yeah. Um, very much in like kind of a here. It reminds me very much of like in a like Derek Jeter type of like follow me kind of way.
Yeah,
Um, that Jalen does it, and it was funny watching everybody celebrate, and they caught him coming off the sideline at the end,
yeah.
and he just stone faced, just walking out. It was funny. Some of the internet reaction I saw, people were like, "This man's a psycho! Like, why he didn't celebrate at all?"
No.
And he's probably thinking about the shots he took in the first half, and like, "Whoa, this was a close one," kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is a mentality that you love to have.
They did get him to smile a little bit in the post game interview, which
He
is
did. He did.
you don't see him smile often.
No, no, and he's got such a nice smile. I don't
Yeah,
know.
right. Exactly. Should show it more.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, no, the offense. I mean, again, AJ Brown kind of took over. Um, they're still kind of struggling a little bit to kind of get Saquon going, and I don't know if that's maybe you lose Becton, so maybe the offensive line isn't as good as it was last year, or maybe teams are just saying, "Hey, we're gonna make Hurts beat us with his arm. We're gonna stop. We're gonna make sure we stop Saquon Barkley." Could be a little cutting combination. Could be the offense. Changed coordinators and maybe it's just a different scheme, whatever. But That's the thing with the Eagles is if you stop one guy, there's enough weapons all over the place that we'll find a different way to beat you.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very much so. And I think you're probably right. It's probably a little bit of everything. I think with Saquon's kind of start to the year, especially in that first half, I mean, there were no holes. I
Nothing.
mean,
Yeah.
like, when you see guys kind of start like they get the ball and like running backs in particular, and they're kind of, especially a running back, I think that plays like Saquon plays. When you see them kind of dancing back there, looking for a hole or a lane to hit, um, it's not a good sign because they're not really getting the, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Hmm.
there's really no holes developing, and the Rams, to their credit, did a good job in the first half. I mean, it wasn't all like on the Eagles just simply not executing. I mean, the Rams appeared early in that game like they were ready to make that statement that we heard a lot about from them
Hmm.
this week. But yeah, they do have a lot of weapons and they can beat you in a lot of different ways, the Eagles. And this week it was AJ, and that's why I wasn't so much concerned with his involvement in the previous weeks. I think was just that you know. There's a lot of mouths to feed in this offense.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be he's not going to get like peppered with targets every week. It's just not how the offense is going to go. They have a lot of different guys that can make plays.
Yeah.
So
Everybody will get their time to shine. Like it will
yeah,
happen.
right. And this past week it was AJ, and another week it'll be Devontae Smith, and one week it'll be Saquon, and another week it'll be Dallas Goddard. Someone else
Yeah.
will like have that big game, but that's really like that's what you want in an offense that just won a championship.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Now obviously, it's we're all excited because they got the win. They got the it's 2 blocked field goals, but they're also there's a scenario where they lose that game because like you almost feel like you stole it because like the first half was so bad. You almost feel like you don't deserve it, but
Yeah,
like, they're really close to losing that game. But you got a victory and move on. I will say Jordan Davis for a guy that large can run. He's a
yeah,
quick guy for
yeah.
that size.
He can, and it's horrifying.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, I mean,
yep,
looking at tape of those guys, and I mean, I would never ever, not that I could, but if like I would never want to be an NFL quarterback
yeah.
and look at those guys
See
across
that guy
your
coming
offensive
at you.
line
Yeah,
and know that they're just as fast
yep,
and that much stronger than you. That's just a scary thought.
yeah,
But what a great play too. I
yeah.
mean, a really good effort, and um, that's all about like anticipation and things like that, right?
Hmm.
So um,
And then
that
to
was a
do it
really
twice, to do it twice is crazy.
yeah, yeah, and across the league, I mean, it happened in Tampa Bay. Um, there was a blocked field. I think the Jets blocked a field goal in Tampa Bay, and they still ended up losing. That was a wild finish there
Yeah,
down there.
yep.
But yeah, it was a really good effort, and I mean, they could go. You could say that for we kind of dissected that already, but the game last week against Kansas City. I mean, there were moments in that game where you could have been like, oh, the Chiefs hit on a couple of these plays. Kelsey doesn't bobble that pass. It's a different
Hmm.
game, but those are the breaks. You know what I mean? And I think teams that are teams like the Eagles and all, they make their own breaks. Like they didn't do themselves any favors in that first half, but I mean, they played a near flawless second half, and that offense was humming.
Yeah,
So, uh, all they deserve credit for that, even though you don't want to fall behind like that. It was certainly a memorable game,
yeah,
and it'll be one we'll remember, I think, for a little while.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. But that moves us on to week 4. Playing the Buccaneers. You're going down there. I know they struggle in Tampa. It's going to be hot as hell down there.
Oh no,
Yeah, I think right now they're calling for the feel like temperature of 103 degrees.
Oh my god.
I think there's the thunderstorms might be in the forecast. Again, it's early; things can change, but it's going to be a hot one down there. So
Oh.
more, yeah, exactly.
I,
The
di-
Eagles
I
have a tough history there for sure.
They do. I heard they were going down early though.
I think they're going
Uh,
Friday.
Friday, so maybe try to get acclimated as much as you can.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's you can't think of any other reason, but it's 100% the weather
Yeah,
that affects you know them down there. So but I mean, even though like I don't know what to make of the Bucks other than the fact that like Baker Mayfield just continues to like do stuff. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like I for a guy that came out and he had his issues coming out, and I don't think anybody. Well, I mean, we always kind of thought maybe it was in there, but it took a little while for him to kind of find his footing and. Um,
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a million different examples of quarterbacks of high talented quarterbacks failing in Cleveland. Like,
sure, yeah, that's not a yeah,
you
that's
know what I mean?
practically a
If he goes
graveyard.
somewhere else after that draft, maybe his career turns out a little different than it did.
Yeah, sometimes it's so bad when you leave Cleveland you can't even recover. Like
Right? Yeah.
just like and uh, but he's a bona fide weapon. He can play. They're never really out of games with him in like since
Hmm.
really the last year and a half.
And
They're never really.
this rookie wide receiver, I can't. I'm not even going to pretend to pronounce his name. Is
Yeah,
an absolute stud.
yeah, yeah. So he has some weapons. Bucky Irving in the backfield,
Mhm.
Rashawn White. There's some talent there. Um, and no Mike Evans. It sounds like this week for the Eagles. That's a little bit of a break, I think, for the Eagles corners. Um, but yeah, I mean, like it'll be a good matchup, I think, uh, down there for them, and trying to contain Baker will be a you know I think this defense is up for that, but it's for what we've seen these last couple weeks, he's never really out of it. You know what I mean?
No, he's a scrapper.
Yeah,
He'll do what he needs to do. He's not really the flashy guy anymore. He's not going to put up 400 yards. Rare like he can, but rarely.
yeah,
He's just going to find ways to get it done.
yeah. Tampa turned out to be a really good fit for him. You
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
uh, so yep, it'll be interesting this week, and I think the weather will be if that holds up. That'll be another factor here for them. So
Yeah, yeah, definitely. They got to figure out the Tampa thing.
yeah,
They
yeah.
can't they can't go to the Novacare complex and crank the heat up to 200 degrees or something in there.
Yeah, yeah. I know teams do that, especially like with the cold and all. Like
Yeah,
they
right.
open all the doors or go
Yeah,
outside, and
figure it out.
teams do that. Yeah,
Yeah, I think I think it's gonna be a tough game. Obviously, like the Bucks are beatable. They're not anything special. They're probably the best team in their division, but like I don't know if that's really saying much. They're beatable, and yeah, the going down there part is the part that has me pausing a little bit. But I think the Eagles will take care of business.
yeah, yeah. I expect them to. Um, for all the reasons we just mentioned too. There's a lot of weapons on this team, and you know, just need somebody a couple guys to have big games, and that's enough to make a difference.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, Now there's kind of multiple reports on if the Eagles can or cannot sign him, but Gardner Johnson got cut by the Texans today.
Yeah.
And again, there's like conflicting things with the rules that say they can or can't. But if they could, would you consider bringing him back for a third time? Third time's a charm.
Yeah, I've thought about that because I was surprised to see that he was cut
Yeah,
today, and yeah, man, I not that guys can't get over it, but it's just kind of like I think there's something I don't know, like how much weight do you put into that? Like it doesn't sound like things were so great with Fangio there, like relationship wise, um, and I don't know, Um, I would welcome it, you know,
Mhm.
but I just don't know if that's like something they're just willing to do again for a third time, you know,
Yeah.
knowing that it kind of sounds like it's always got to be a short term thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he's kind of got a shelf life with his team, I think.
yeah, yeah, because you know he's bounced around quite a bit here, so I don't know
Yeah. Yeah.
what exactly is the case there, but I think the fact that you know having a couple different stints with the Eagles and also having success, which is so funny about it,
Hmm.
it's just like it works out, but from like a personality sense, it kind of doesn't. But it
Yeah.
works like from a from a football stance, you know. Uh, how about you though? Would you bring him back?
Yeah, I would consider it. Like he knows the defense, obviously, right? He knows the scheme. He knows, the ins and outs of the team and the coaching staff. Um, and they kind of have trouble with cornerback depth and safety depth, like secondary depth in general. So bring him in. Maybe he doesn't give you what he gave you, his first time around, because he wasn't great last year. Like he was fine, but I don't think he was great. But you say he doesn't get, maybe he doesn't get back to his first stint talent wise, but I think he could give you more than what they've gotten from some of those guys like Adoree Jackson and things like that. So I would welcome it. Assuming it's like you said, a 1 year kind of thing, or maybe 2 years tops. Like it's got to be kind of short term
Yeah,
because he's gonna run his mouth at some point because that's what he does. I also like I haven't seen what I didn't really pay attention to the Texans game so far for the first three seasons. Like, has he been bad? Like, what's the reasoning for them getting rid of him? Is it just like a personality issue? Like, that's the question I have.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
And
Like
and the Texans are 0, I think they're 0-3, right? They haven't won a game yet, I believe.
yeah,
So
they've
I
been
could I could
bad.
understand. Yeah, I could understand. Even if he has been good, again, I don't know if he has or hasn't. But even if he has been good, I could understand a guy like that when you're 0-3 and you have a bunch of young guys. I could understand a guy like that making your locker room miserable and not wanting him to, be around all the young guys. Like
Yeah,
they're a young team. They're still kind of rebuilding. Um, I don't know if that's what it is, but that's kind of where my mind goes as to
yeah. I don't
why.
know. I don't know. I don't know that we've ever really gotten an explanation, or it's ever come out, or there's never been like a leak or anything like that
Yeah.
anywhere. Um, so I don't know what that is. I'm not really sure, but I was still surprised from like just a talent perspective because he can play. I mean, like C.J. Gardner Johnson can still play, so it's not like um, it's not maybe like worth the squeeze kind of thing. It's like I can still see him
So
coming in and helping out.
Texans beat writer Aaron Wilson reported that the team made the move after friction behind the scenes, with him complaining about his role, wanting to blitz more, and even communicating that he wanted to be traded.
Oh,
So there you go. Trouble in
well, yeah,
paradise. That'll do it.
yeah. What a reason to blitz more. That's
Yeah, I don't know, he wanted a different role, I guess. He didn't like his role. I don't know.
yeah. If he
But
wants the blitz, I mean, like from like use those like corner blitz and stuff. I
yeah,
mean,
I
a
guess.
place like the Chiefs, like they love using their
Hmm.
corners on blitzes and stuff like that. Maybe that's a fit for him or something.
Yeah.
But
Yep. Oh, it'll be a team like that. It'll be the Chiefs. It'll be, I don't know, the Commanders. It'll be the Packers. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. The teams that just kind of get annoying. Like I
yeah.
could see him in Dallas even.
Oh man,
Guy that loves to run his mouth. Like it's just kind of where it would make sense.
yeah, yeah. Dallas would be something. Just him, him and George Pickens in practice would just be
Oh
like,
goodness, yeah. They'd go
we,
after each other. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
we'd get there'd be a lot of content
a
there.
lot of good content.
Well, you know what? Yeah, Jerry, get him on the phone. Let's do it for the
Yep.
content. He loves a good controversy. I'm
Right.
actually I'm actually watching the Netflix Cowboys documentary right now. It's pretty good.
Okay. Are you?
Yeah,
I haven't watched it yet.
yeah, it is pretty good. So Jerry likes some drama, so he's
Oh, definitely. And the Eagles would see Gardner Johnson one more time this season
yeah,
too. Like There's some drama there.
Yeah,
It makes a lot of sense.
yeah, yeah. I would like to see it.
All right, let's get on to our picks then.
All right.
So listen, I said I said last week that I was on a roll. I was 8-2, and I didn't expect that to continue, and it did not. I
Oh,
went I went 1-4 this week. Not a good week for me.
did you?
Yep. Dom went 3-2, and you went 4-1.
Oh, okay.
Solid week out of you.
Yeah.
I kind of got screwed on the block field goal because I had
Oh,
the Rams plus 3.5.
oh yeah. Oh my God.
Yep, I had the Rams plus 3.5, and that kind of fucked me.
Were you worried
So
about? Were you upset that he ran it back?
no, definitely not because I got no money on this. This is just for the show. So
Yeah.
I was hyped when he ran it back. I'd rather that happen.
There's an Eagles. There was someone in that stands there that got crushed
Oh,
on that
absolutely,
specific play with
absolutely.
money on it.
A ton of people, I'm sure, have.
Yeah.
So that means on the year so far, I'm 9-6. Dom is 8-7, and you are 11-4.
Cool.
Pretty solid through 3 weeks. 11
Yeah.
and 4. All right, so I do have Dom's picks. So he texted the group, and
Yep, I did.
I'm sure you saw it. But I'll read it aloud. His first one was Saints and Bills. Bills minus 16.5 because fuck it is what he said. And I almost did the same exact thing. I was like, yeah, that line seems crazy. The Bills are much better than the Saints, but like the
Yeah.
line's still kind of crazy. So yeah, he has minus 16.5.
Yeah.
He has the Colts and the Rams Colts plus 3.5. The Ravens at Chiefs, Ravens minus 2.5, and then he's got the Bears Raiders under 47.5. Chargers Giants over 44.5.
Yeah. I was interested in the Chargers and Giants over, like him taking the over there. I guess he's buying the Jackson Dart hype. Coming in
Is he
here,
playing yet?
he's going to play this week.
Is he
Yep, they announced it today.
really?
Yep,
That didn't take long.
yep. So, well, he was
So
getting. They were calling for him on Monday. What was it? Monday night or
they,
Sunday night? Sunday night.
they,
I'm sorry.
they were didn't they win this week or no? They not.
No, they lost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Who'd they
but they
play?
were
Why don't I
the
remember this game?
Chiefs on Sunday night.
Oh, I did not watch that game at all. I had no interest. Okay.
Yeah, it was terrible. I did watch it, but
Yeah. Yeah.
but no, I mean, that's an interesting one. I was when he
Okay.
sent that, I was like, okay. I mean, maybe he's. I'm assuming he knows about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
Probably. No, I did not see that. Interesting.
yeah.
All right. Who do you have?
All right. So I have the Titans at plus 7.5 this week.
Okay.
They have. Let me look it up again.
They're playing the Texans, right?
The Texans, yeah, and I was watching some of their. I think a couple weeks ago when they played the Bucks, and they do not look good. CJ
Yeah.
Stroud doesn't look good.
Yep.
And I think the Titans have some upside there. So plus 7.5 for the Titans. I got the Niners at minus 3.5, and the Bears at plus 1.5.
All right.
And then for the over-unders, I have Vikings Steelers over at 40.5, and Eagles Bucks over 44.5.
Over 44.5.
Yes.
Okay. Those Minnesota game was over 40.5.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, nice.
Yep.
I have the Browns and the Lions. I know. Listen, people might be buying the Browns since they beat the Packers, but the Lions have scored like 90 points in the last 2 weeks. So like, give me the Lions minus 8.5.
Yeah.
The Jets and the Dolphins. I got the Jets plus 2.5. I never like taking the Jets any time, any day, but the Dolphins I think are a mess right now.
Yeah.
And McDaniel's about to get fired and that whole thing. So, I got the Bengals and the Broncos. The Bengals are an absolute mess right now. They got absolutely destroyed by Minnesota last week. To Carson Wentz and that whole thing. So
And Isaiah Rodgers with the return.
yes, he had 2 returns.
Yeah. He's been insane to start this year.
Yeah. Yep. Eagles should have kept him.
Yeah. Philadelphia.
But I got the Broncos in that game -7.
Okay.
And then I also have the Eagles and the Bucks game, but I have the under 44.5.
Ooh.
I have
Okay.
the under. I think maybe it's hot a little bit. Maybe the ball. I don't know. It's
You
the
had
weather
that
could
knowledge
affect
that I didn't have because I didn't check the weather down there. So
right.
you know,
Yes.
I like it.
And can we expect what they did in the second half against the Rams? Can we expect that for a whole game? Like who knows?
Yeah.
And then I have the Colts and the Rams under 49.5.
Okay.
So I think Danny Dimes comes back down to earth at some point.
All right.
So,
Yeah, and they're going to LA, so
Yep.
that's a tough game. Plus,
Yeah.
I'm sure the Rams are going to be upset over what happened this past week.
Yeah, that's also true. That's very true. All right. You got anything else, NFL, or even anything in general you want to talk about? The Phillies are. What was the score of that game? Should have looked. Let me see here. Whenever I want to find something easily, so they're delayed in the 9th inning, 3-3, and there is a delay.
There's a delay.
That's what it says. Delay. Yep.
Is it raining? I don't know. It's not raining.
It must be. I don't know. It says delayed in the 9th.
Huh. Interesting.
Yep.
No, I really don't have much else. I mean, the Phillies are so they're playing for this bye week, right?
Yeah, I think. I mean, they'll get it right. Like I'm not
Yeah.
worried about the bye really. I think their magic number to clinch the bye is like 2 or 3. Like
Right.
it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of when.
Right.
Like there really isn't much of a difference between 1 and 2 as long as you get the bye.
Right.
Although it's like the stat or the history has shown that the bye might not be beneficial. You might not even want the bye.
Yeah.
More often than not, the teams with the buys end up losing in the first round.
Yeah, I feel like it just kind of has like it feels like too long of a layoff for like where baseball baseball's so much about rhythm
Yeah.
and things like that. So when you get taken out of that, like you can do simulated games and all that kind of thing, but nothing really nothing can really replicate it.
No.
Like what you're going to see in the postseason. So, and I think they can't get the Brewers are going to get home field throughout, right? Like since they're the top team in baseball.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, like that's interesting. I haven't given it too much thought about beneficial, like whether or not it would be beneficial for the bye. I know we had talked about before on previous episodes where because they're so banged up, maybe that kind of rest would help them, but I don't know that I would want to. They've been playing so well here for the last month that I don't know that I would want them to necessarily stop.
Yeah,
what I mean?
but they obviously Turner's hurt. Maybe get him a little time to get healthy. Although it sounds like he's pretty close to coming back. I think he was taking BP today.
Yeah.
So a guy like Turner, give him a little bit of health. A little bit of rest. Maybe give Harper a little bit of rest to kind of rejuvenate things. He's obviously him and Schwarber and guys like that. Castellanos, like they're not getting any younger. So rest is probably not a bad thing for this team. But you just worry about like the like the rhythm aspect, like you're talking about, like just kind of putting a halt on your season for 5 days or whatever it is. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Like,
week seems
that's
like a
rest versus rust. Like, which one's gonna happen, basically?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure like we've also said on previous shows about the Phillies, like, and I think a start like tonight kind of solidifies it even more so. But I mean, Christopher Saint just takes this ball game 1. And you just let him go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what our plan is after that, but at least for game 1.
That becomes a big question.
Yeah. I don't know what they're going to do after that, but Sanchez definitely has earned the right to take the ball in game 1 of any series they're in here. So, and he was very good tonight.
Like, if you ask me that question, who takes the ball in game 2, you asked me that question 2 or 3 weeks ago, it's probably a different answer than it was last week. It's probably a different answer than it is today. And it'll probably change 2 or 3 more times before the season, ends.
Yeah.
So,
Rob should just kind of he should like switch it like at last second, like whenever
Yeah.
he has the like probable starters, and then go up until as long as you can wait, and then switch it.
Right. Like, I don't know that it's Ranger.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's Nola. Is it Lazardo? Am I missing anybody? Like that's
Um,
Walker. It's not him. Like no. Like
oh
none of
man.
them. I don't want any of them to pitch a game two.
Yeah, game two. Like someone like Lizardo would be fine, I think, later.
Yeah. If
But
same with Ranger, but like
yeah.
in
But
a
if
game
he's like
two, in a very important game two, like who you throwing out there?
right, right. So that's something they're gonna have to figure out. I think if I had to wager a guess, I'm gonna say it's gonna be Nola
Nola.
takes the ball game too. That would be my guess.
You're probably right.
Yeah, I think they're gonna go based on like
Experience.
experience.
Yeah.
You know, ultimately
Okay.
experience.
Follow up question.
Okay.
Do you trust Aaron Nola in a game two?
Um, no, but you know, this is this is where we're at. So
Yeah. Right.
you know what I mean.
Exactly. Yep.
Um, I do it uncomfortably,
Yep.
and I pray, but you know, I don't know how comfortable I am with that. I'm more comfortable with it than I am with some of the other options. Like to me, like when you're kind of going through the process of elimination, Lazardo and Walker don't really even factor into that, you know, for
Mm,
me. And so really it's down to Nola and Suarez for a game two, a potential game two. So yeah, I would go with Nola, but I don't feel great about any of it
yeah. Right.
unless he goes out there and just he's lights out. Then I feel a lot better about it.
That's what kind of scares me about this team in the playoffs is that I don't think they have the starting pitching or even bullpen for that matter to win the 2-1 games, to win the 3-2 like to win the low scoring games. I think they're gonna have to have a good offense, and we've seen in the last couple of postseasons that the offense just goes cold. So
Yeah,
I don't know that they're gonna be able to win the low scoring games with this pitching staff.
right, right, yeah, and yeah. I mean, when they got Duran, I thought like that was a lot that it would be a lot easier to win those games.
Yeah.
And then but that was also, of course, prior to the Wheeler news and things
Mhm.
like that, and that
Yeah,
changed
like
some things. Like,
Duran is good. I mean, he's had a little faults, here and there, but like
yeah,
he's very good. But the problem is you got to get to the ninth inning. Like, you know what I mean? You got to
yeah,
get there.
yeah. So, and I just kind of like, and maybe this is like a league wide thing. I'm not really sure, but um, I wish they had more set kind of like guys and those like had more set late inning guys where like they know they're going to this guy in the seventh or eighth, and they're like they know they're going to go with Duran in the ninth no matter what. But it's
Mhm.
just, um, but I mean, like, do you even really see teams? Remember, like it used to be, uh, teams would to kind of save somebody. They would, have somebody come in and pitch an eighth and ninth.
Yeah.
I don't know if Duran can do that, but I'm sure, you know, I mean, I don't want to experiment in the postseason, but
Right.
um,
But you throw out your best arm at any given moment, so there's a chance you could go out there in the eighth inning in the playoffs.
yeah. So if you're really not comfortable with some of the other options, I mean, I guess that is an option, even though we haven't really seen him do it, um, at least not here.
Yeah.
But I think that could be an opportunity to try something like that.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, like you got to get there, of course.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
and this is a big postseason for. This is where we've all been like, we've been talking about this for months now, where it was like this is we're getting to that point now where it's going to be put up or shut up for the Phillies, like offensively with this group. Otherwise, I mean, I was ready after last season's uh, how they bowed out of last season's postseason. I was ready for some significant changes to the lineup. They didn't end up coming, but I was ready for them to kind of do something major with this lineup. And
The major stuff will happen if they get nothing done this postseason.
yeah,
And that I think includes the manager and possibly the general manager.
yeah, yeah. It would have to. I feel like, because it feels like this team at that point would have a very clear ceiling. They're
Yep.
a good playoff team, but I don't know that they can get over the hump to the title. So there would have to be some changes there for sure. Some difficult conversations.
What did you make of the Nick Castellanos post game comments?
So what was he asked? I heard a lot about it, but I didn't.
So he was asked multiple things about, you don't seem happy about your role, and is it frustrating that you're not kind of an everyday player, and do you not like Philadelphia? And I thought he handled himself pretty well in the comments and the post game interview. It almost seems like he was kind of getting baited to stir up drama. The reporters that asked the questions kind of were trying to find quotes and angles that they could use, obviously. And I thought that, and obviously, this comes the same night that he hits the home run and had a career. I think his career number was 200 home run or 250 or
Something like that.
yeah. It was a milestone home run, and instead of kind of making it a good night and you talk about his accomplishments and all that, it's just another way for them to kind of tear him down a little bit. And listen, I've been a big critic. We all have been a big critic of Nick, but I just didn't like it in that spot. I thought it was kind of important.
Yeah, there's a time and a place for that,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, after a game like that, that doesn't seem like the time or place for that. Especially if like you're asking, do you like the city? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I mean, I could be, I might not be verbatim. I could be paraphrasing a little bit, but I'll have to see if I'll find it.
Yeah, I mean, Nick's one of these guys, I think, too, where like it kind of this stuff happens with him. I think because he's so hot and cold a lot of times.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like when Castellanos is good, he's very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
And can definitely be a difference maker. And especially in previous playoffs and things like that, when he's at the plate and he's guessing and things like that, he's doing a lot of taking swings at poor pitches. There's a lot of like more so than some of the others even in the lineup,
Yeah.
So, so like when he's off, he can be really off, but his swings tend to go really one end to the pendulum to the other, like very, very like very, very quickly. But I think I mean, that's not really the time or place for something like that. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to find it. I mean, I don't know how much I could pull it up here. I don't know how much you want me to play. It's about 5 minutes long. We don't have to listen to the entire thing.
All right.
Let me see if I can pull it up here.
Yeah, I didn't hear it. I saw a lot of people talk about it though.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. Let me pull this up.
Nick, I happened to catch you at batting practice. Seemed like you had a really good one before the game tonight. Did you feel that? Did you feel something like coming in? You felt good, or was it especially good for you?
Which part?
The batting practice, yeah.
No, I think it was just pretty consistent. Yeah.
Have you found a way to adjust to the role that you're in now? Or how do you think you've adjusted?
I don't know, man. It's still like brand new, right? Like I'm just making stuff up as I go along.
And if there's anything you want to talk about, let me know. We could pause and talk about it if you want.
All right.
Some days I don't do anything. Some days I go out for batting practice. It's just kind of how I feel.
Do you think maybe something you did today is something you could go forward with? I mean, what do you think? You did BP today. You didn't do what else? You had a good. Is whatever you did today something maybe you could go forward with because you had a good day once you entered the game in the 5th inning, whatever inning it was.
Sixth inning? Yeah, I hit batting practice today. Maybe I'll hit it again tomorrow. It's a good idea.
Are you feeling any more comfortable in this role and just coming into a game, pinch hitting? The first at bat was a pretty good at bat.
I mean, I think anything that I do more often, I'll get better at it for sure.
How disappointed are you not playing every day?
That's a controversial question, so I'm going to skip that.
Okay, well, see.
I don't know why that made me laugh, but he's very direct. I will say that.
He is.
Very direct.
He is. He always
said,
is.
you went on Mookie's podcast and you said that the media has been coming up with narratives for your season. So what would be your narrative for this season? Your own narrative?
I'm here to do whatever I can to make sure that Philadelphia wins a World Series ring.
And that should have been the quote that I think kind of made the rounds instead of the ones it did.
Yeah.
So whatever role that looks like, just do the best I can with that.
You mentioned in that interview about your knee, that play in New York.
Sure.
Has that affected you? I know you don't want to make an excuse, but maybe does that explain anything about, the last couple months?
I mean, it hasn't been 100%, that's for sure. But again, like, I'm not going to sit here and say that's the reason. I've done and performed well hurt before.
Does a night like tonight help you embrace this new role and just saying, hey, I can come off the bench and still help this team win? If you had any doubts, in other words.
I mean, like I told you in the dugout before the game, anytime that I step into the box, there's a chance that something good can happen.
Do you understand why you haven't been playing as much as you normally would?
I don't really talk to Lob all that often, so that's just, I play whenever he tells me to play, and then I sit whenever he tells me to sit.
So, the coaches or Rob don't sit down and explain to you what they want you to do, whatever role they want you to have?
Communication over the years has been questionable.
I think that's kind of the thing that I took out of this presser the most is that, like, him and Rob Thompson clearly don't have a good relationship.
Right. Yeah, I think so. I think when there's a lot of asking the same question and trying to frame it in a different way.
Yeah.
Nick has always been very direct. It's very clear that he does not enjoy this aspect of being like a pro.
Yeah.
But not all guys do, And I think the takeaway quote and for me would have been, "Hey, like I'm here to do whatever the organization needs me to do to win a ring." That being said, the thing that's going to get latched onto is, hey, he doesn't have a good relationship with the manager.
Mm-hmm.
And even though he's often like this, his body language, his facial expressions certainly suggest he is like not happy.
Sure. And I think they ask him, that's one of the questions coming up soon, I think, is are you happy here, basically?
Yeah.
So we'll keep it going. There's about 2 minutes left. A long ass post game presser. Usually player interviews aren't this long post game.
No, they're usually not.
At least in my experience, but also I grew up communicating with somebody like my father, which is very blunt, direct, and consistent.
Mm-hmm. Did you find it different with different managers?
Every manager has their own style.
Right.
Has it been worse this year or consistent over the last 4 years?
I don't really know how to answer that question.
It's kind of surprising to hear because most people say that his strength is communicating with his players and talking to his players every day.
Who says that?
I mean, the guys in here that have been winning since 2022. So we've had a different experience than those guys.
There's just been times where things have been said, and then over the course of years, I'll have expectations because I'll latch on to what's being said, and then actions would be different. And then I'm kind of left, just thinking and whatnot. But again, like, it is what it is. Adapt, do what I can. At the end of the day, we're here to win the World Series.
What do you think your future is here?
I show up tomorrow and play a game against the Diamondbacks. That's my future.
You're not thinking anything like next year or anything like that.
Why would I do that in front of what we have ahead of us? That would be really selfish and take away from what we're trying to do as a group.
So it sounds like you're unhappy, but you're gonna
That would be creating a narrative.
Okay.
Are you unhappy?
Are you unhappy?
That's I'm here. We won a baseball game. I hit my 250th. I have a good relationship with the guys in this clubhouse.
And you're going to do what it takes to win a World
I'm
Series.
here to win. John Middleton is paying me money so that I can help the Philadelphia Phillies win a World Series.
So yeah, there you have it.
Yeah,
They're pressing them a little bit at the end.
they are, and I think this often happens a lot where it's like, players are right. These guys get media training and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like when it's so, I always find it refreshing when I've ever been in a dressing room or anything like that, or, in a post game setting, listening to players speak. I've always appreciated, that kind of thing, like kind of like Castellanos says, where it's like, you can't chastise players for speaking their mind or saying like, hey, they always kind of give us these cookie cutter answers. But when a guy turns around and speaks his mind and says, hey, to me, it's very clear that, there's things in that clubhouse that could be a lot better, but he's focusing on winning and helping his teammates. And, unfortunately it's part of it. It's part of like I said earlier, they're going to latch on to the fact that he doesn't have a good relationship with Thompson. But because that becomes a kind of a story in of itself that like, hey, he's saying this, but I don't think that I don't think professional sport dressing rooms and locker rooms are much different than any other workplace.
Sure.
Where guys don't get along, or there might be little cliques here and there, and it's kind of the reality of it. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate him being so blunt and upfront about how he kind of feels about it. I don't think that that'll affect his job. He might want to play more, but I don't think he looks at it as like, hey, I'm gonna like sit here and pout and not, but I think that's the case for everybody's gonna have a different experience with the manager.
Sure.
And or coach. Not everybody. It's about personalities and things like that. But Castellanos kind of sounds like he understands that. So that was really like, I didn't see that, but I didn't listen to it, but that's pretty interesting.
It is. It's what you said about their athletes, like personalities and abilities to talk, whatever. Like, I'm a big, and you just probably maybe where you heard it, but I'm a big Elliot Freeman guy. Listen to Elliot Freeman a lot.
Yes.
And his big thing is you can't criticize players for not having personalities, and then when they show you their personality, you complain about what they said. It's
right.
like it doesn't work. It just can't work two ways like that. Like,
right.
So
exactly.
Now, with that being said, though, there's clearly a riff in his relationship. Maybe not with the organization, but with Rob Thompson specifically. Whereas I don't know that the two of them can. And maybe this isn't fair because this is what the reporter kind of was asking, and maybe we should wait until that plays out in the offseason or next season and wait until this season kind of happens. But I don't know that they can coexist together next year.
Yeah.
One of them, I think, has to go.
Right. Yeah, I mean, especially because I think they're, one poignant thing that Nick said was like, he's not really given much of an answer. Now, whether or not guys are getting along or not, is one thing, but when there's no communication whatsoever, where he had said like I don't talk to him all that much, that's a problem. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Because that's where guys' signals get crossed. Um,
There's got to
you
be
don't
communication. There has to be.
right, and you know, but again, like is it one of those things where Rob and like people, everybody in that clubhouse knows where it's just kind of like you can kind of cut the tension with a knife when they're both in the room,
Yeah.
like around each other. Um, and I don't know how plausible it is, but I think it definitely, or I should say rather, I definitely think it is plausible that they speak to each other very like it's very minimal, or
Mm.
um, Rob kind of sends maybe the hitting coach or someone else to kind of tell Nick. That's also not a great thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to have that conversation between the two of them. But no, I mean I saw it a lot in a lot of different places, and that is fascinating. You know,
Yeah.
but I agree with your stance on it. Like with something I've heard Elliot Freeman say that as well,
Mm.
and that's something I take with me anytime. Excuse me, anytime I get a chance to be in a clubhouse or a locker room and talk to an athlete or be around an athlete. It's like, you know, um, yeah, like you want them to be honest and open with you, and like they have to understand at the same time you're also doing your job, and
Right. Yeah.
but yeah, like I don't know so much that there was kind of like a baiting kind of thing going on there as much as it was like because Nick is so blunt, it can almost seem like there's like he means something else.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
true.
Because he's
Yeah.
so straightforward, where like you're kind of like wondering, like, well, is he saying that because he really thinks that, or is he saying like he trying to throw somebody off the scent or
Yeah.
something? I don't know, but I obviously don't know Castellanos, but uh, yeah, no, I mean that's fascinating, and I would imagine too, like you said, I would agree that like something's gonna give there,
Yeah.
um, whether you know uh, they're both gone or you sit them both down, or maybe you try it, unless that's already happened,
Yeah.
um, where like I don't know Middleton and um, Dombrowski sit them both down and say like, hey, like he signed here. You're signed here. Nobody's going anywhere. Figure this out.
Mm.
Um, you know, that could have been something that has happened already, or it should happen if it hasn't.
Yeah.
And because you don't want that to start, spreading across the dressing room,
No, definitely not.
where it's like affecting other guys because their relationship is so toxic that it affects everybody
Yeah.
else in the dressing room.
Yep. Which could happen.
That could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, um, you could turn around and you could be, imagine just being a guy like who just had a great game, and you're in the dressing room and they're like, mother effing each other in his office.
Mhm.
You're like, Jesus, like this
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And you're
Right.
together for 162 games. You
Yep.
know what I mean? And
Long
this has
season.
happened this has happened 3 or 4 times in the last month, like
Mhm.
where they're just yelling at each other because they can't get along. That could start wearing on other guys.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, like I thought he equipped himself pretty well there,
Yeah. Agreed.
and yeah, I'm that was a breath of fresh air. I liked hearing
Yeah.
that. You know,
Yeah, for sure. All right, we can move on. Before we get out of here, I just obviously wanted to talk about Sunday, the passing of Bernie Perrant,
Mm,
absolute legend, Flyers legend,
yeah,
Philly sports legend in general. Um, and obviously helped the Flyers, bring their two and only Stanley Cups to Philly back in the mid 70s. Um, yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there.
yeah, no, yeah, definitely. Rest in peace, Bernie. He was like his impact on Philadelphia sports in general. He
Yeah.
may he may be the singular most important player to a championship team that the city's ever had.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that.
Like, to win to win playoff MVP,
Hmm.
you know, and be the guy that like backstop those teams.
Yeah.
And those teams were great. Those Flyers teams were great. Uh, they had a great forward group. Tough, obviously, they're well known for their toughness. But I've heard that before, where like guys like Wilt Chamberlain and guys like that were uh, super important players, if not the Sixers wouldn't have won their championships without Wilt. Um, it's probably Wilt and Bernie are probably the
Yeah.
two guys.
When you asked the question, those two were the ones that popped in my head. For sure.
Yeah, I think most people would say that, and I think his impact on Philadelphia sports in general is like super iconic. I mean, you saw the outpouring of support for him.
Yep.
Everybody sharing pictures they've had with him,
I,
or
I I had the opportunity to meet him once.
yeah,
Yeah, he was doing some sort of event at an arcade down in Wildwood.
yeah.
Met him down there. So it was
I
one
actually
time.
wrote about that in
Did
my
you?
roundup.
Okay.
It was a book signing. Do you know what year it was?
This
We
would
might have
have
been
been
there.
might have been 2013.
Yeah, yeah.
Give or
He
take.
was
Okay.
signing a book. We might have been there at the same time.
Yeah,
'Cause
probably.
that's
I
where I
think it was
was.
I think it was 2013.
Was it Wildwood?
It was. Yep.
Yep, we were probably there
Yep. That's funny.
at the same time. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Funny.
I brought my cousin Megan. I wrote about it
Yep.
this
Yep.
past week. He was what a gentleman.
Yeah.
Let us try on his Stanley Cup rings.
Yep.
I bought the book, and he signed the book for me. And I have Flyers T-shirt on. He signed that as well. Um, and I met him one more time at like an autograph thing, like a trading card.
Yeah.
Like they had like athletes there and all, and he was there with um, the Watson brothers and all them
Mhm.
guys, and yeah, their impact on all those guys from that team. Their impact in Philadelphia sports lore. Um, for especially for the people that saw them play, their impact's been it's never faded. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and certainly one of the most beloved and memorable teams ever.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, he seemed like a great person, and um, I think we were all really fortunate to have him here.
Definitely, and one of the most beloved Philly athletes of all time. Trying to think back when we first started this podcast, we did like our March Madness style brackets every year, and we did most beloved Philly athletes, and Bernie was on there, and I don't remember if he won or not, but he was right up there. I'll see if I
Yeah.
can find it. But yeah, no, he was. I mean, incredible. Obviously, before either of our times, but
Yes.
we've heard the story or the stories of him and how good he was and all that stuff and the person too.
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
It's been great too. Like, I think how that is one good thing. Um, about the Flyers in general is that like those guys have had so many of them have had such an everlasting impact on the organization and like the team, like because it was so early on in their existence. The Broad Street Bullies era, I think, because it was so early on in the organization's existence, um, they had this like lasting impact on like we'll love the players that bring championships here. There are players that stick out for a variety of reasons, but I think for those guys, especially at that time when the teams weren't really the Philly sports team scene was kind of everybody was kind of collectively struggling at that time, and that the team had the ability to win back to back championships, and especially a team that was able to like um, really identify with a city in a way that a lot of teams never do, and with the toughness and the grit, all those things that we think of ourselves as Philadelphians. So
and I found our bracket. This was
Okay.
in 2022, I believe it said. March of 2022. Bernie lost in the semifinals. He lost in the final four to Allen Iverson.
wow.
And then Allen Iverson ended up losing to Brian Dawkins in the finals. So there you
Okay.
go.
Yeah. I could see that. I mean,
Yeah, I could see that.
yeah. So, but yeah, man, what a legend. What a legend.
Absolutely. All right. With that being said, you got anything else before we get out of here?
No, speaking of the Flyers, they lost
Yep.
tonight, preseason game.
Yep.
But
They're not televising these games yet, are they?
no, they're televising them on the website on a toaster.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
right.
what they're doing. I've been
Yes.
watching them. The
Yes.
audio and all doesn't link up. It's a tough watch, but
That is a tough watch. When they're televised on TV and I can like half decently watch them, that's when I'll start watching.
so they play Thursday. I think that game is on TV.
Okay.
So,
That one I'll probably watch.
yeah.
But all right, we're gonna get out of here. That'll do it for this week. Like us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Phired Sports. Subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify as well. We will see everybody next Tuesday. See you then.